Hello all, Satyakondapalli from Ambari Cloud YouTube channel. Today I'll be presenting a part of Iceberg maintenance. I'll be presenting how to remove orphan files, and I will walk through the step-by-step procedure to remove orphan files. Before that, we're going to discuss what are the orphan files, how they're created, why we need to delete. I will explain step by step. Okay. And I'm going to hit temporarily. Okay, so we are all aware that Iceberg has the metadata layer with that, right? Then after that, the data layer. The data layer maintains the data files. Sometimes, we get the unused data files. How are they? How are we going to get unused data files, right? It may be some Spark streaming, or maybe Kafka streaming, or manual upload, or a failure of Spark. There are many reasons, or maybe corrupted manifest file, or maybe there are various reasons. Then you have an orphan file sitting on the data layer, and which are never been, which are not referenced in the manifest file. So these orphan files sitting on the data layer never been referenced in the manifest file, which is not impacting your Iceberg table. However, it adds space and then unnecessary impact on the performance of the table. It's not impacting the data, but it may impact the performance because if you have too many unorphan, too many orphan files, not orphan files, then it impacts the list and all the stuff, right? So refers to data files that exist in the storage layer but are not tracked or managed by Iceberg metadata. That means they are not there in the manifest file. Okay. These are files that have been added to the storage location directly or bypassing the Iceberg control. That means, again, there are many reasons to the file exist. The situation might occur due to various reasons, right? And so manual intervention, right? People uploading it and copying it accidentally, and or modify existing files, and then maybe made a copy of the existing files, um, or maybe external process, like the as I said, Spark streaming or Kafka streaming, maybe loading it. Or in rare cases, there may be metadata corruption, and when you rebuild the metadata, then you may forget to delete the orphan files. Um, or Spark executor failures, right? So mostly the driver, right? So let's say your executor completed writing the data files, then driver need to commit it, but it may have a memory issues and it has a crash. Then those the files created by executors sitting on the disk, and but they're never referenced in the manifest file. Then there are orphan files. You know Generally, files involve operations before the commit. Sometimes, when we do rollback and, if there are maybe commit failures, incomplete, unreferenced completes, then we have the files. So over time, these orphan files accumulate. And since they're not referenced in the table metadata, they cannot be removed through manual snapshot process, right? Or you cannot do manually, or you cannot do snapshot expiration, because they're never referenced in the manifest file. Okay. So accumulation will cause cost on the storage. It is not impacting on the your data, but it may impact some performance because when it has a list to drop the list process, then you may have too many files, unused files, and then So as a best practice, we need to remove these files. But removing these files is a challenge, right? Because what we need to do is we need to find out all files belongs to your Iceberg table. That means it has to read all manifest files, then find out, get the list of files, then read the disk and find out all the files, and then find the which is not referenced in the in your manifest file. So if you have thousands of files, this is challenge. So you don't want to do it in one time, once in a blue moon, right? So you need to do it more often, and so that way, you can clean it out. But so generally, anything files, we run in an ongoing cron job or maintenance job for this orphan release, and we need to run it, anything older than in the parameter. But generally, files anything older than 3 days only can be deleted. Default is three. You can alter it. And then running this orphan file delete for the entire table is a challenge because it takes a lot of resources, right? Then it takes more time. So you don't want to do it on the entire table. So you can do it on a location by location. What does that mean? If your table is partition, then you can do partition by partition, and that way then you need less resources. Then um, eh, um, so that's the best approach. So anything older than 3 days, try to delete it or but do it by location. But it should be a part of your maintenance job. You don't have to run it daily, right? But whenever you see a spark failure or anything related commits failures, then you should do upon file release. Okay. So before cleanup, you have orphan files. Then in the direct in our direct table directory, and after delete, we're gonna after cleanup, right? We're gonna delete the orphan files. So I'm going to walk through a demo. So what we do is we're gonna inject some unused files into table directory manually, right? With the different dates, right? Because or we can simulate the Spark failure, but it's easy to inject some unused files, which is different dates. Then of course I'm going with the default. So I'm going to inject files which is older than 3 days. Then after that we perform our some file cleanup, and then we verify the data integrity of the file directory, and then so that's what we're gonna do it, right? So let's do it. Okay, so let's okay. I have Spark starting, and then I'm going to use a production database, and then I have um, um, a table and which has a lot of files, and then these are existing table. I'm looking for a partition. So what I will be doing is I will be I'm going to inject um, some unused files. So if you look at here, I am injecting into the file names with the different dates. So using touch, different. So today is 20 April 23rd. 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, so different dates. That way we can, when we run the dry run, we will see, how files, what files is going to be deleted and what files still there because, we have like that 3 day threshold. Okay, so I'm adding a file and I'm going to add one more. And if you look at here, I'm adding on the 11th directory partition. So let's run it. So now you'll see, the files which are unused with the different dates. Right? Here, if I put normally, then today is 23rd date, but I am using touch minus D and T, and so I'm able to inject them at different dates. Okay, so let's do a dry run. Okay, so I'm running on the entire day, right? And it takes some. If you are very big table, it takes a lot of time, right? You have to be careful when you run dry runs. But so if you look at here, these are the files, right, which are qualified to the orphan. That means even if you look at this is not going to be deleted because this is your 3 day threshold. But 19, 18, 12, definitely. And then let's see what is the 11th one here. And 11th, the 20, right? So it's not called failure. It's not going to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to run on a location base, I can do that. That way, then it creates only one directory. So when you're doing a Spark streaming, and then you have a lot of failures, for example, then if you do partition by, then anything older than current hour partition, yeah, you can run awesome files, and then of course you can do compaction, manifest compaction, all the stuff, and whatever. Right? So we know that these four files is going to be deleted. So let's run the Orphan delete. Okay. Okay. So then let's run that, check the directory. Okay. Check the directory, and now you will see that yeah, some of the files, all files except this one. Right. Now let's go and do one more dry run. Right. Just in case if there is anything. Okay, let's run the dry run. Yeah, there is no Orphan files as of now. I mean, they're all there, but these are not qualified yet. So you can you can do the entire table. Okay, let's run the entire table again. Okay, I run the entire table. Then let's check on the 11th tower directory. 11th tower directory is still there because it's not called. Right. So this is how you will be. So yes, we convert this one into current job and then execute it in whatever intro. But yeah, you have to establish some best practice. Again, it doesn't need for every table, right? You don't need it. Right? Depends on your file, so it depends on your table. Mostly watch the streaming table or any tables you do a lot of updates and deletes, and then, whenever you see a spark failures, mostly memory is what's on it. So this is how you're gonna run the Orphan delete. Make sure that you run the dry run first. That way you'll get an idea, what files are deleting, which directories. If you want to do partition by partition, yeah, then you know the partition. You can get the partition name from the table dot partitions, and then you can get the location of the partition. Then you can do this in a for loop and customize it, and then for every submit to for every partition in parallel. You can do that. Depends on their cluster size. So this is how you will be running your Orphan deletes. Okay. So, any questions, send me an email, and this is my information. Okay. Thanks for listening, and yeah, keep practicing this. You can take this code and type it and practice, and that way you will be aware of what are the issues you are facing when you are testing. Okay. Thank you all. Talk to you later. Bye now.